If you suffer from insomnia, you'll be really aware how severely a consistent lack of quality sleep can impact your daily life. Now, personally, I've had bouts of insomnia dating back for more than 2 decades. So I know very well how much of a challenge it can be to try and function in a healthy way throughout the day. Now look, some of the ways that chronic insomnia has impacted my life is through weight gain and, frustratingly, the inability to lose that weight until I'm actually back into a sustainable sleep pattern. I experience loss of motivation, I have bouts of sadness and fatigue, I go through moments where I lack mental clarity and focus and have poor concentration if I'm trying to concentrate on something for extended periods. That impacts my memory, I have increased appetite, lack of desire to socialise. This all then leads to anxiety about actually going to bed and anticipating another poor night's sleep. And ultimately, I end up getting really angry because I'm not able to be as productive as I want to be throughout my waking hours. But other people report common outcomes including persistent irritability and depression, neither of which is ideal, obviously. So what I'd really like to share with you is some compelling statistics, because what you're going to discover is that you're actually not alone at all. Insomnia is so common, and the great news is that medical cannabis can be a very effective treatment. So let's dive into some of these really interesting facts. So a wide array of research shows that insomnia affects 1 in 3 adult Americans. It's a third of the population. That is huge. Now look, age is a factor. Up to 60% of people over the age of 60 will have some level of experience with insomnia. And the younger a person is, the more likely they're going to have trouble falling asleep to start with. But the older a person is, they're more likely to report that they have difficulty staying asleep and that they wake too early in the morning, so they don't actually feel rested. But regardless of age or type of insomnia, gender plays a role. And ladies, we are more predisposed to experience insomnia than what men are. Now, 40% of people with some type of insomnia also meet the diagnosable criteria for at least one psychiatric disorder. Now, the most prevalent ones here are depression and anxiety, bipolar, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD. And a further 75 to 90% of people with insomnia in the US alone have a significantly increased risk of a medical disorder. And the most prevalent are illnesses that result in chronic pain, neurodegenerative illness, and restless leg syndrome. There's many more, but they're the most common ones. And between 37 and 48% of people who have some type of insomnia don't discuss it with their physician. And I'm one of those people. It just simply never occurred to me that insomnia would be something that I would seek medical help on. But even with this high percentage of non-reported cases, it is estimated that 10 million Americans utilise pharmaceutical drugs as sleep aids. Now, research shows, though, that they do become ineffective over time because the body adapts and you actually need more to actually get the same result. So, not ideal. One common psychological treatment that you may well have heard of is cognitive behavioural therapy, or CBT. Now look, it does offer wonderful tools, but we find in the long term it's often ineffective because it requires commitment for change, and participants often don't follow through on the ongoing sessions or the ongoing task work required to actually make that sustainable long-term change. But fortunately, cannabis can be very effective, especially when initially wanting to fall asleep. Now, depending on intake method, which we're actually going to be covering in a lot of detail for you, it has been shown to increase the number of hours of uninterrupted sleep. Now you know just how common insomnia really is. Move on to the next video where you're going to hear about the types of insomnia, the most common causes of insomnia, and typical treatments. Now, gaining this knowledge is an essential first step towards identifying aspects in your life that you may be able to alter in order to engineer a sleeping solution that really works for you. See you there.